We all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me, we are not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Swallow your pride. If I have pain, you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't need. Lean on me, we are not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Lean on me, for said it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. We be jamming, 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 we be jamming. Just call me when you need a friend. Oh, baby, now when you need a friend. Oh, baby, now when you need a friend. Oh, baby, now lean on me.
Patrick. Oh my God, you didn't. Yeah, before it.
Open your eyes.
Richard, go get my camera in there. It's right on the table. Alright, you gotta turn your around just once. There you go, okay.
Go!
Well, at least this makes a sound.
Yeah.
You're on your...
The little one.
He has an ear!
Is it in his ear?
Yeah,
Yes, on his ear.
Autism impairs a person's ability to communicate and relate to others, and it is also associated with rigid routine and repetitive behavior. When my son was originally diagnosed 14 years ago, it was explained to me that he was diagnosed at age 3, and it was explained to me that his brain developed, everybody's brain develops a certain rate of speed, and then around between their second and third birthday is when it starts developing faster. And it was explained that an autistic children and their brains don't develop quite as fast, so that's why you have the delayed behaviors and learning abilities and things like that.
Tell us what your name is.
Patrick,
How old are you, Patrick?
17.
Why don't you tell us a story about you?
I was 1 years old child, and then I I was blowing a candle for a happy birthday, and and I turned 2.
Tell me what you did to your room, Patrick.
I have no idea.
Put labels everywhere. Tubing wire. That's pretty cool, Patrick.
You must be Peter Parker from Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Now your room is a work of art. That you can't really tell.
Team Sprinkle.
Are these all from Spider-Man?
No.
A-E-I-O-U-Y.
There's the bells.
Uh-huh. Oh my, you even got the back of your door. Pop, top, hop, mop, stop, slop, slop, flop, drop, chop, flop.
He was a child that, for instance, you know, you hear the terrible twos, and every time we came down in our family room, we had furniture that you could remove the cushions. He removed every cushion every day. If I put them back and he came down in the room again, he would remove them all again. And it wasn't like he stacked them in neat piles or anything. For some reason, he felt that those cushions did not belong on the sofas.
He well, it's like, it's kind of hard because it's hard to talk to him and get him to do stuff, and he kind of bugs me because when I don't want him to come in my room, he does it anyway, and stuff like that.
Do you have any stories you can tell us about you and Patrick?
No. Every Christmas, well, not every Christmas anymore, but sometimes on Christmas, Patrick and I would watch The Grinch, and we would, he would play The Grinch and I would play Cindy Lou, and then we would just act the whole movie out.
We believe Patrick became autistic by what was called the MMR vaccine. I believe it's measles, mumps, and rubella. And we first noticed the disappearance of Patrick, I guess you could say, when Patrick started to go into his own little world around the ages 2 to 3, and that was right after he had the shots. We've consequently done a lot of research since and found out that because of the mercury that is in that particular MMR vaccine, that there's potential would cause that type of brain damage and the learning disability.
Derek, no pushing.
He has really big quiet sister.
Patrick. Jeez. Patrick, where are you going? Patrick, get back here. Patrick's 2.5 and Derek's 4. I signed Derek up to a reading program at the library, and it was a one-day thing, and you go in and you sit with your kids and they read a story and everything. And then they did a craft or had a treat or something like that. I don't remember what happened later. But I took both of them in, and Patrick had this blanket that he carried around everywhere. It was an old thermal crib blanket, and we had rolled it up and put rubber bands around it, and it was just in shreds, but he always had that. So we went up there and I sat with him, and I knew that, you know, it was in a room, smaller room, and it was a bunch of kids in there, not overcrowded by any means. I knew he might have trouble with sitting there. So we sat, and then we were asked to leave because he started throwing his blanket at one of the kids in front of him. Not even getting anywhere near him, but I was ready to leave anyway because I just thought he was starting to be disruptive to the other kids. So the three of us came out, and a little boy that was like 10, 12 years old at the time came out and asked if Derek could go back in with him, and he did. He finished the story hour, and I sat in the library with Patrick, and I had my legs wrapped around him, and he was standing in between my legs, and I was fiddling with the computer, and Derek come out, and the two ladies came out that were reading, and I sat there, and they weren't 5 feet away from me, looking at me and talking about Patrick and how bad he was and how disruptive he was, and how could a mother ever let their kid come in and do something like that, and that I should be ashamed as a mother. And they kept looking at me, and they knew I had to hear. They were whispering, but I heard them, and I didn't know what to do. I was crushed. So I had to take, you know, him and Derek, and poor Derek, as soon as I got out in the car, I was crying, and Derek just didn't know what to do because he didn't know what was wrong. Patrick.
Mom, now Tootsie Roll.
Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
Do you know what autism is?
Autism.
Do you know anything about that?
Yeah.
What is it?
A very good show.
Early years, he would have terrible tantrums, which are known as meltdowns in the autism world, I believe. And it could be quite embarrassing where you have a bunch of strangers looking at you like you can't control your child. So that's always been challenging, but you know, we've grown to love him and get a lot back from him.